So I became a radio disc jockey. When I got to college, I finally decided to pursue an activity that was in line with my passion for music. And it turned out that there was a radio station on campus. In fact, there were two. There's a station called WBRU FM, which is a 50,000 watt radio station in Rhode Island. And at the time, it was owned and operated by Brown University, and it was run by students, and the studio was right there on campus. And there was also a closed circuit AM station, which just was broadcast into the dormitories and was known at the time as WBRU AM. So you couldn't just walk into BRU FM and get on the radio, 50,000 watts. You had to start out on the AM station and work your way up. So I had a weekly show from like 3 to 5 on Fridays, and I would just sit there and play music. I actually discovered a couple of bands before anybody ever heard of them. One was Aerosmith. They had this album, and I listened to the song Dream On, and I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. And they also had the Leonard Skinner album before anybody else had heard of it. And of course, I heard Free Bird, and I freaked out, and I went out and bought the album. I kind of honestly got bored. I just have to sit there, and I get restless sitting there. And I have ADHD, and I would have to sit there and just listen to music. After my freshman year was over, I came back to sophomore year, and I just didn't sign up for a radio show. And so that was kind of the end of that. And it was also kind of lonely because I was just sitting there by myself the whole time. And I really didn't get to see anybody, except for there was this one guy who would come in, and he was in charge of the sports reporting, and he was very enthusiastic. So I remember him. And he started out on the AM station, and then he worked his way up to the FM station. And he ended up having a pretty successful career in the world of sports broadcasting. And you may have heard of him. His name was Chris Berman.